What's up Pythoners? In this video we are going to discuss about Python 2 versus Python 3. I will give a brief introduction about Python 2 and Python 3 and will majorly focus on the differences between them and how beginner Python programmers often get confused between the two. Also, I have covered a bonus point at the end of this video, so don't forget to watch this video till the end. So without any further ado, let's begin. Let's start with Python 2. Python 2 was created back in 2000 by Open Labs. It was created with the intention to become a programming language which is easy to learn and perfect for people starting out in the programming field. Although Python 2 was a good language, it could not go very further, and the last Python version that was created was Python 2.7. It is officially said that no newer version of Python will be released in 2020 and after. I will discuss its drawbacks later in this video. Next, let's talk about Python 3. Python 3 was created back in 2008 and was not just an updated version of Python 2 but was more like a different language in itself. Python 2 and Python 3 had noticeable syntax differences apart from default text strings, libraries and division of numbers. Python 3's syntax was developed with the intention of removing redundancy or repetitiveness from the code, which came out to be really helpful for beginner programmers. With the basics of Python 2 and 3 covered, let's talk about the differences between them. First, let's talk about syntax differences. The most common and known syntax difference between Python 2 and Python 3 is the syntax of print statement. In Python 2, print is considered a statement instead of a function, which means when you use it, you don't have to write round brackets in it, like this. In Python 3 on the other hand, print is a built-in function, which means it has to be used within round brackets. I have this script with me by the name python2_script.py. All the code that you see is written in Python 2. You can clearly see here that the print statement is written without round brackets, as it is considered as a statement, not a function by Python 2. If I run this script, the script successfully prints. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click on the bell icon and share this video to all your programmer friends. And if we add parentheses around the string after the print keyword, we are now using Python as a function. If we run this script with Python 3, the script runs successfully. If we try to run Python 2 code in Python 3 or vice versa, a syntax error is generated. The next difference between the two are their libraries. Python 2 libraries that were created during the creation of Python 2 aren't simply compatible with Python 3. As a reason, new libraries had to be created for Python 3. So you cannot simply import and use a Python 2 library into Python 3. That's not how it works. Next difference that we have is the division mechanism. Let's say we have to divide 5 by 2. We can do that both in Python 2 and Python 3. But to our surprise, the results in them are a bit different. In Python 2, 5 divided by 2 returns 2. That is the round off value of 5 by 2. However, when we do the same in Python 3, we get 2.5, which is the exact answer. This form of division in Python 2 had been a great problem for developers who used Python for mathematical calculations, simply because division answers were not accurate and were not in decimal form. This issue was solved in Python 3, which by default gave output as a decimal or float for any division performed. You can also get Python 2-like division output in Python 3 by using double slash instead of single slash. Next, let's talk about Unicode in Python 3. First, let's get an idea about ASCII and Unicode. The functions in programming languages that return string values can return it either with ASCII encoding or with Unicode encoding. Now you may ask, what's the difference? ASCII encoding does not support many characters like the Latin or French character you must have seen. Unicode, on the other hand, does. Since Python 2 uses ASCII encoding, it could not process such characters. So in order to tackle this issue, Python 3 was made to use Unicode encoding, making it more versatile than Python 2. Next, we have the raise exception and try except block. There have also been some syntax modifications in Python 2 and Python 3. For example, in Python 2, you could raise an exception in any of these two ways. However, Python 3 supports only one of these two ways. Similarly, there were two ways that try except block could be used in Python 2, but only one of these ways can be used in Python 3. Next, we have comparing strings with lists. It was possible to compare strings with lists by comparing their lengths like this. However, this cannot be done in Python 3 as it does not seem to be that useful, to be honest. Next, we have the range and xrange function. Python 2 had two functions named range and xrange, which were used to iterate through numbers. Range function would return a list of numbers while the xrange function returned an object. Python 3 uses range function and does not have xrange function, as the range function in Python 2 works like xrange function in Python 3. And also, why to have two functions to perform the same work when you can have just one? And finally, we have reached our last difference, which is the future module. This isn't exactly a difference, but it's still something to talk about. If you want to add float division like we saw in Python 3 inside Python 2, then you can use the following statement: from future import division, and automatically all the divisions that you will do in Python 2 will start returning floating point numbers. Those were all the differences between Python 2 and Python 3. I would suggest all beginner programmers to learn Python 3 as it is easier than Python 2, and also because Python 2 is now outdated and not used in industry. Now the bonus point for all those who watched my video till the end. Although Python 2 is not used now, there are still many old tools and GitHub repositories that work on Python 2. It can be really difficult for Windows users to download Python 2 and use those tools, as it would require you to delete Python 3. But there is a script in Python 3 by the name 223.py. This script can be found at the tools/scripts folder where the python.exe is saved in your system. You can use this script to convert Python 2 code to Python 3 automatically. All you have to do is open command prompt where the 223.py is located and then type python223.py space filename.py, where filename.py is the Python script written in Python 2. This script will make a copy of the file which will contain the same code but in Python 3. That's all there is in this video. Hope you liked the video. If you did, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, click on the bell icon and share this video to all your programmer friends. In case of any query, you can contact me via Instagram or by joining my Discord server. With this, it's time for me to go. This is Vishesh Dwivedi signing off.